Welcome to the Stronger Together podcast. I am your coach, Kenny Marquardt. Today, I am joined by Ken Wood. This is a fantastic story. Ken and I have been working together individually for about 8 months. He's been at the gym for on and off for about 6 years, I think. But the last 8 months have seen just tremendous progress, and it's been really cool to be a part of, really cool to see. And I really, really, really love the story, and I love this conversation about what he brings in terms of like mental mindset and outlook and just the successes that he's had and his perspective on all those things. Enjoy this one, and we'll see you on the other side. Ken, good morning.
Good morning.
Second time I get to see your beautiful face today.
I wish I could say as much for you there, Kenny.
Yeah. So I got the treat of leading you through a workout, and now we're going to tell everybody your life story and pass down all the wisdom that you have to share through your fitness journey here.
It's going to be a short call here then.
Yeah, right. No, you actually are one of my favorite stories. I'm not just saying that because I can't really do that publicly, because otherwise people are like, I'm really tired of hearing this. he says that or whatever. But I think it's a really neat way that your journey has unfolded here at the gym. But rather than have me tell it, that's why I have you on this wonderful podcast for you to tell it. I want to hear it from your perspective. So let's start from the beginning, like when you first started. So Let's go from there. Tell me, and everybody else about how that went and what that looked like.
Yeah. So, I started with the gym. It was probably 5-6 years ago that I first came. And, I came off of Chad recommending it. Chad Faust has been a longtime member of the gym there. Great guy. He had kind of recommended, hey, come, because he was seeing his numbers from a health perspective, that were way off the charts. And then he came into the gym and he started working out, and his numbers went way down. And so I went to the gym for a while, but I wasn't in bad health at that point in time. So I went for a while. It was okay. And then I kind of dropped out. I kind of did what everybody else does. I'll get back to it at some point in time.
Yep.
And then about 2 years ago, I went in for a health checkup, and my numbers weren't great. And they were talking about, well, you're not there yet, but you're probably going to need to get on some sort of medications for cholesterol, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't want to go down that path. I'm 48 right now. I was 46 at the time. That is not the path I want to go down to. And so signed up to get back in the gym, started doing some personal training sessions to get going, and I've been there for 2 years now. And I will tell you, the difference it made in my health numbers, etc., has been phenomenal. I'm not on any medications at this point in time, and I just continue to see those numbers get better and better. My heart rate gets better every time. I'm just really impressed with the results I've been seeing.
Yeah, I think what's unique is that you and I have had a lot of conversations and like ways that we've wanted to try and engineer this in a way that was successful. And I think that, so you're doing personal training for a while, and then, I think you've always enjoyed the group aspect of things, but that politely, like that wasn't the best way you adhered to the situation at first. Like you were like, okay, I've done personal, like I've been here for, I think you actually had a little bit of like, I don't know, shame's not the right word, but I think you were like, I'm have the capabilities to do this. I don't need to be one-on-one with somebody. Like I know I should be, like I can hang with the group, but for whatever reason that didn't seem to connect for you. Like whenever we set you free on your own to just attend group classes, it wasn't very successful for you, right?
True. Yeah. The one-on-one really makes a difference, especially, right now you and I work out once a week, and we usually do it on Monday. But that Monday motivation to get up, get moving, I got to be there because I know Kenny's going to be there, right? And get in on Monday starts the whole week right. And then going to group classes is no big deal. I just find the motivation to get in there and get started with the week a huge chance to just, start it right. Yeah. And then group classes, I'll be honest, the group classes can be intimidating. You've got the 6 a.m. class, right? That's the hard course, and that's the one that I like to go to, but it's intimidating. I'm not, I'm never trying to be the fittest guy in the gym or the buffest guy in the gym. That's not my motivation for being there. It's for my own health. And so you see some of these guys doing muscle bar ups and hundreds of pull-ups, etc., and that can be intimidating. But yeah. I found that people are in this gym extremely motivating each other, and just really push each other at your own levels.
Totally. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I've obviously been around a long time at this gym, but like the 6 a.m. does have that they're a little bit notorious for being the harder chargers, which is true. But I think that's just like, I think they all, like, one of my favorite things about them and you is like, it's all an intrinsic motivation thing. It's not about beating somebody else. It's about like, hey, I'm going to show up, I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to help support everybody else. And sometimes I think that outwardly that presents as more competitive than it actually is. Does that make, like, you know what I mean? Or would that be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I do feel like it's not a competition between the people there. It's a competition with yourself. It's can I do a little bit better than I did last week?
Totally.
And that's huge. That's huge. So.
Yeah, which is so much like, that's such a good, I love hearing that. It's still something I feel like I have to beat the drum a little bit on, because not everybody, but there was a period of time where everybody wanted a rabbit to chase. Like, they was like, okay, I got to find the next person to go take down. And you'd never run out of rabbits. Like, there's always somebody better. Or you run out of there's no more rabbits and you kind of lose your thing, when realistically you should just be able to like find that within yourself. I think it's a little bit, I think it's actually quite unhealthy to be constantly pursuing somebody else. It can be inspiring to see somebody else, and that can push you a little bit further. But if you're constantly looking for someone else to try and be, like, I just don't think that's going to end well for people. So anyways, that was a bit of a soapbox. I think my favorite, again, back to your story, what I love is like how we engineered this. This is not something I've ever done, but we talked. It was like, hey, dude, you've never missed a PT. You've never called. You've never been like, hey, I'm not coming. I slept in. Like, that's just not a part of your personality. Like, you've always, every time, either with me or with Kirk or whoever you were working with, you attended every single damn session.
Yeah.
And you showed up and you worked hard, and, we saw a lot of success. But then again, the group thing didn't work out that well. So what we did was we figured out, like, okay, let's go. What do we start with? Twice a week PT, you and me. And then we tapered, and then the expectation was that you'd go to a group class. Yep. And so we'd start your week off on the right foot, and then you'd go to at least one group class later in the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm, consistently 4 to 5 times a week. Yep. My goal is to do 5. That's kind of my top end goal. It's an A+ if I can get 5 workouts a week in at the gym. So, and it's having that one PT session. I know it's just one, but it motivates me to get the week started right.
Yeah. It breaks the seal. I mean, even though you have to deal with me for that period of time, it breaks that seal and gets you going on the right foot.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other motivation behind this, Kenny, and we've talked about this in a little more personal, but my parents are in their early 80s. My mom is suffering congestive heart failure, is probably not long in this world at all. And watching that health and knowing that they didn't do this stuff, and knowing that that's in my history, that's what's motivating to me. I don't want to be that, that age and not still being able to enjoy life. And so that's the motivation to come to the gym every day and continue to improve my health.
How does that present for you acutely? What I'm like, that's such an easy thing to say, and I don't mean to diminish. I think a lot of people say that, but the rubber meeting the road is very challenging, because the alarm goes off and you're like, it doesn't. It's like it's a death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
So what is that? What is your mental state that gets you out of bed, even though there's such a long-term horizon on this thing?
Yeah, it's a great thing. I'm very, very big on a lot of this. I know is mental, right? I think we even saw this today. We were doing bench press today, and doing just crushing it right up to the max. And then your mental state. I went to go do one, couldn't get it up. Couldn't get out of my own mental head, and knowing though I could full well have done the weight that was there. It's the same thing in the mornings. I feel it's the same thing. It's taking that first step. Okay, I don't want to get out of bed. The alarm's ringing. Okay, but if I just put my feet down, right? Okay, now my feet are on the ground. All right, now I'm just going to get up and I have a pretty solid routine now that we've worked on. Get up, get toast, get peanut butter on the toast, eat a banana, get out the door by 5:40. To get to the gym on time. It's just those incremental steps. And as long as I can keep taking and fighting through, the battle to climb right back into that bed, I know I'm going to win those. So every time I win one of those little fight throughs, I feel like I'm winning the day.
Yeah, and that's a great segue into one of my other favorite things about you and what you've done in the last little bit is you do something every day. To me, you call it done well, and you literally text me 3 things that are your accomplishments for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. I do it through my career as well. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of, look, we can do a million things wrong And or you can do a million things right, but we focus on the wrong thing, right? We focus on I didn't quite push that weight up as much as I wanted. Oh, I didn't show up at the gym right on time. But I love finding three things that, hey, I did these three things well. And a lot of times they're repeats, right? It's, I showed up. That's good enough sometimes. So yeah, sending those every day, I try to make it a point to send you three things, and that just gets my mindset right, that this is working, that these little steps in the right direction are working for me from a health standpoint.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, so I trained through my career with a guy by the name of Jason Selk. Jason Selk is a world-renowned athletic coach. He's worked with the Cardinals when they won the World Series, etc. Just an amazing individual. And this was his concept, and I've adopted in a lot of areas of my life, and just focusing on those three things that you did well. And sometimes it's really hard to put those three things down, honestly.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But, I'm just constantly focused on what did I do right? What went well here? And not letting those negative vibes creep in.
How long have you been doing that? I know you've been doing it with me for the last 8 months, but how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that probably for a good 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was it hard in the beginning?
I think it's hard every day, to be honest with you.
Okay, great. Yeah, not great.
And it's something, it literally takes a minute to do.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those habits that, I didn't feel great what I did at the gym today. I don't really have three things to write down, but forcing you through and writing those things down is critical. And it really motivates me to keep it going.
There's two questions I want to ask. One is, did you feel like, it's, again, I'm going to use the word shame. It's the wrong word. But I think there's people, like, because we've done bright spots. I've done bright spots in other groups, like, where you find the positives. And I think that people are so not used to doing that it feels like boasting or bragging, or like there's something that you're not, there's some like moray against doing that, like being optimistic and positive and celebrating yourself. Like, it's a weird thing, but did you feel that?
Yeah, I don't actually. I don't ever feel shame in doing that because I like I said, I think we could do 100 things right and we can find one thing we do wrong. And mentally, as a population, I think we focus on that one thing that we've done wrong. And one of the big takeaways, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I think you kind of are too, Kenny.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of ways. I've taken up the mantra of screw perfect, right? It's never going to be perfect. You're not going to work out 100% of the time right. So screw perfect. Try to do it as well as possible, and reward yourself for those things you did well, those right moves. I feel no shame in that at all. I don't mind celebrating my successes.
Good. That's awesome. I do find that a lot of people do, and I wish they wouldn't. I do sometimes too. Like I find it actually where it's an accomplishment, where you celebrate an accomplishment, or you celebrate. Again, I don't feel that so much anymore because I've been doing it in one of my groups for one of my masterminds that I coach in for 10 years now. But in the beginning, it was kind of like, I'm not supposed to say this out loud. Like, this is supposed to be
I should be humble, right? I shouldn't be celebrating my successes.
That's the word. Yeah, it's the humble, the silence of humbleness. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to put it. Do you find yourself seeking the bright spots in your day? Like, do you find yourself thinking like there's a cue when you find, like, when something positive happens, are you like, oh yeah, that's my thing for the day?
Yeah, I do actually. I do. And I feel like I recognize the things I've done well a lot better since I've been doing this. And, I'm not going to say that there aren't times that I go, oh geez, I wish I had done this a little better, or I had done, but I don't let those things creep in, and I recognize them a lot sooner, and I change my mindset around quickly. I won't dwell there for more than 60 seconds. If I'm there for 60 seconds, then I've lost. I will say, okay, I'm in the middle of, a negative episode. Where's the positive? I'll find one thing that you did well, and let's switch this mindset.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the most powerful things I've seen, is that find the one thing, or find the three things, because it sounds like la-di-da, but how often, maybe that's not, do you find it challenging some days to be like, crap?
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted it to be done terribles today because it's that kind of day. Screw this. I'm sending the worst things ever. I'm going to pout.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there are times that I'll write out that done well to you, and I'll be like, that comes out as negative. Erase that. Redo that. Let's send this a different way to Kenny.
Yeah.
And some days it's just a sentence, right? I showed up. That's good enough. Sometimes that's all I can get to. And sometimes I throw you a book and I'm like, oops, sorry, Kenny, on a Saturday, but here you go.
Yeah, I literally, I think we had this conversation in the beginning where I was like, dude, I legitimately love reading these. Like, don't ever stop doing that. And it's the same. It has not changed in the last 8 months. Like, that's my favorite thing. I do see people beat themselves up about everything all day, and I'm guilty of it myself. In my experience on this type of thing, it's like there are some of those where we usually do it for the week, and my week is sometimes like, I didn't kill anybody this week. Like,
exactly.
That was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it, though. That's about the only victory is I didn't run away. So, but yeah, that's cool. What are your guidelines? Like, to give some advice to people, what's the guidelines on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know it when you put it through, your mental state changes a little bit. And that switch, that click on of, you know, I feel good about this one thing or these three things, that's powerful. Knowing that your mind switches that direction is powerful, and doing it consistently. Like I said, it takes literally a minute. Seriously, after our workout, I'll usually just sit in my car and do it a lot of the times. If I just do it, get it out, it's a win.
How do you, because habits are so hard to build for people, though. Like, it sounds so easy. Even like, same thing with fitness. Like, if I was like, hey, look, if you just did 10 minutes of air squats and push-ups every day, like, you'd probably be fitter than 95% of the world. It's hard to do. There's something about it. Like, it's easy to say, easy to start, very hard to do for the last 8 years, like you've done with this. How do you make that thing sticky?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of the times what I do is I think about how I'm going to feel afterwards, right? I do a mental visual of, look, my life can go two ways here. I can roll over and go back to bed, right? But where is that going to put me 5 years from now down the line? Versus I get up, I get that peanut butter toast, I get into the gym and I work out with you. It doesn't feel great going in there, but I think all of us can say after you're done in the gym or after you've done that workout, how great do you really feel that you've accomplished that for the day? And starting that day off on the right foot, getting in there early, getting it done, that's huge. That's a win in and of itself. Even if your workout doesn't go perfect or even close to perfect. I mean, I know we've talked about this, Kenny, where there are some days you get in the gym and you're crushing it and you're feeling incredible. And there are some days you get in there and you do the bare minimum, right? And then in between, there's about 80% of the time that you just kind of float. You do what you got to do at the gym and it feels good. But I know those little steps, I know those little incremental changes make a huge difference. And I see this all the time. Like, I'll run into people, that I haven't seen for 6-7 months. And they'll look at you and go, oh my gosh, you look incredible. You don't see it every day. But yeah, they'll say, how much weight have you lost? You look amazing compared to the last time I saw you. You look so much healthier. You're glowing. And now those are the things that make you feel like this is all worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about the done wells thing? How does that stick? Like, it's so easy. It's so easy to say, easy to do even. But then how do you make that stick for the period of time that you've done it?
Yeah, it's again that healthy mentality and knowing after I've done that how I feel. It's just that it's that little boost of motivation. Hey, I went to the gym. Oh yeah, and I did my dumbbells too. Look at that. I'm two for the day already on the health side of things. Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep putting that's the same with I've coached for so damn long. When you do something for like a month, like anytime I've introduced somebody on a new nutrition program, like 3 weeks in, first week's a little bit of a change. Second week is something. Third week, they're like, my God, I feel amazing. Why haven't I been doing this my whole life? I'm never going back. I'm never eating another piece of pizza or dessert. I feel like a god. And then week 4 to 4.5, 5, it's all out the window.
Sure.
And again, so I guess it's like, the done wells thing. Like, I think the building of that habit, I just want to know how the heck you made this like a part of your life for the long period of time that you like. Cause there's got to be the intrinsic thing. Did somebody yell at you every day if you didn't do it?
Mostly kind of yelled at myself about it. I mean, again, because I've had such opportunity to work with such amazing coaches and things like you included, Kenny. I mean, you're a massive motivation for me. But I've worked with people that have worked on the mental side of things for so long, and again, it's not complicated. It's a small thing that makes a massive difference, you know? Recognizing those done wells every day. And having that habit, it was easier for me to do it in health because I've already been doing it through my career. I've already been doing it in my life. And I just try to incorporate it across different things. It's not just in health. It's not just in work. I try to find things with my kids every day and say, oh, you did this really well.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you, instead of focusing on, oh my gosh, you got in a fight with your brother, or you did this, that, or the other thing. Trying to find those positive things for them and makes a massive difference as well. I've just seen the results of it, and so it was easy from this standpoint. In fact, it was fun to incorporate it in on this side of things. Because I didn't do this when I was working out with Kirk, but I've done it with you, and I'm glad I pulled it over there.
Kirk's got a phone from like Korea that doesn't hardly work, so it wouldn't matter.
Exactly.
Anyway.
He probably wouldn't have known anyways.
I think Kirk uses a satellite phone for most of his communication. So.
Still on AOL.
That's exactly right. So he probably won't ever hear this because he's trying to listen to it through two cans connected through a fishing line or whatever.
It is creepy.
Another thing I really want to pick your brain about or talk through the experience of is the work we did on pacing. And it's been a while. It's been like, this was something we really, really, really had to work on in the beginning. But let's talk about that. Talk about your pacing, your experience, and how that would express itself in your workouts.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I first started, I would pretty much turn gray or pale.
Oh, yeah.
After some of our workouts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny B pushed me. You're on that AMRAP for 15 minutes. And what I found was I'm great at getting it started, right? I will come out of the chute full bore. And then about halfway through that, I'll recognize that was a mistake. That was not where I should be. I should have gone to start out with. And now we've done some things, we monitor heart rate, etc. pretty regularly. We make sure we don't get out of those ranges, and we've been pacing out. And now I can get through a complete AMRAP without feel like I'm going to pass out. My heart rate, it gets high, but it doesn't get out of control high. And monitoring that has been huge, and watching that pace.
Yeah, I don't think we've had to monitor it very much in the last. In fact, today we didn't.
We didn't have it on at all.
We left your phone in the other room. Yeah.
Yeah, and our pace was great. I mean.
Yeah.
The other thing I think too is just knowing and doing enough of these workouts is setting that goal. Where am I going to get to? Yeah. And if I get there, that's a success. That's a win.
Yeah. I think that created a negative relationship with you in terms of conditioning or cardio too. I think you dreaded cardio because of how it made you feel. But I also think that it was your own damn fault. And I don't mean that. But I mean, like, I rarely push people. I don't think that's, you might feel that way, but I'm not a yeller or motivate. I'm just kind of like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I usually kind of give you some thoughts on what it should look like. But I think that I watch most people go in hard because there's some expectation of performance that they should feel crappy, or they should give it as much effort as they can, but it's just not sustainable. And so you would dig yourself into these holes that you literally and physiologically cannot possibly get out of. And so you'd go hard for 2 minutes, and then you'd just, like, I don't know, wander around trying not to puke for like 13.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, we talked about this. That was a long introduction to what I want. I would like to hear your experience through that. Of like, how is that accurate? Like, did you feel like some pressure to go hard and then?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I think I found this, and it was even before I was working out with you, Kenny. I felt like I was getting in really phenomenal shape when I was working out with Kirk. And I came to the gym one day. I was pretty much done with personal training. I was just in the team's class. And it's 6 a.m. and I'm motivated. I'm going. And we're doing some sort of sprints. And I'm finished the squats. We were doing goblet squats, whatever they were. Legs are toast, but I'm going to sprint and I'm going to hit it. I remember running across that gym and coming back, and my legs, everything became a wobble. And I probably took 4 steps before I just ate it, right? In front of everybody. It's embarrassing. I can't stand. I'm like, what is going on here? And I ended up leaving the gym for like a month and a half, something like that. And then I came back and started working out with you. And it's amazing to me how fast your health can deteriorate when you're not consistent. And so I came back to you and started working out, and that it took a little while to get back to where I can do this pace now without feeling like I'm gonna walk around and puke. I don't feel that anymore, honestly.
No.
And I know we've been at this for a while. It's been 2 years, but I don't have that anymore. I feel lighter on my feet when I run. I feel like I can keep up with the pace. And even if it's take small, short breaths, small, short rests.
Yeah.
And we found that today with the fireman's carry. Just get to the end, put it down, take 5 seconds, reset, and then go. Versus take 4 minutes of, jeez, I'm not feeling that anymore at all.
Yeah, and I think there is a lot of the adaptation to your fitness for sure. But I think part of it is that I think it's like there's a feel. Again, we used to monitor that so heavily with the heart rate. Like we'd use the gauge, and I'd see you in the blue, green, red, and we'd keep you in the certain area, and I'd tell you, hey, like you've way overshot the mark here. Let's back it off. But now I think there's so much of a feel of an athlete that you have where you recognize where you need to start, where you can push to, when you need to back off, and that's quite a talent that I think that I don't know that most people look at as a talent, but man, it's a pretty cool talent you've developed.
Yeah. Well, and I've also been amazed, Kenny, about how fast, we can get into red fairly quickly, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm amazed at how fast we can back down into green, to go from 145, 150 in heart rate back down to 115. I mean, it takes now 30 seconds to a minute before I'm right back down there, versus before that was not the case. At all. Like it was taking me plenty of time to recover back from that.
Yeah, and your heart rate recovery, which is what you just described, is like going from max to what is it? Oh my gosh, I should know this off the top of my head. Oh, it's just a matter of how many beats you can drop in the minute. Sorry, that's what the metric is. And yours was like getting up into like the mid 30s, I think. Being over 25 is pretty significant. Yeah, I mean that's been a fantastic adaptation for you too. So
yeah, and I remember the first workout we had that happen, and you were like, "Whoa, your heart rate dropped really quick back down." I think you had even said that's like high performance athlete. I was like, "Whoa, that's not me, but I'll take it. Thanks, Kenny."
Oh, too. I think it was elite. I can't remember the exact. I nerd out on certain things at specific times, but I think elite's over 30. I want to say so. And yeah, you were up in there, which is fantastic. So
yeah. It's a great motivation, right? To see that, to know, okay, I can get there, but I can back it down pretty quickly and then go right back to the workout and get right back into it.
Where are you seeing this stuff? Like, what is the expression of this stuff in your daily life? Because the gym's not the ultimate goal, and like living long's a great goal, but like, where are you seeing this in your life?
I'm seeing a lot of places. I have 12 and 13-year-old boys, so to be able to be out. I'm an older father at 48 with that age, but to be able to still go do things with them, go out, still, school them on the basketball court, etc. That's motivating to me. And as we age, there are little things, right? This hurts or your back goes out over stretching. I mean, but I'm still motivated to keep going with my health and knowing that I've got a lot of years left, and I want to be as healthy as I can so that I don't get into those older ages and life feels more like a drag instead of an enjoyment.
Yeah. What do you want to do in like 20 years? Which is not long, but what's your aspiration for that?
So I'm a massive traveler. I've been to 5 different continents. I've been all over the world. I travel to a new country pretty much 2 times a year. So like this year, Scotland. I went to Morocco. My motivation is to be retired around 55, and I plan to live in various countries and spend 3 months in a country. That's a major motivation for me as I go.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. All the time we spend together. I don't think
I know.
I'd ask that question.
That's a big goal for me is to enjoy. I work with people in retirement. And I see too many times people retire and they don't have a plan, they don't have a goal, and they fade away. And I don't want to be that person, The golden years are supposed to be just that, right? You're supposed to enjoy them. I don't want to be in a position where I can't enjoy what I've worked so hard to.
That's so true. I've seen that with so many people, unfortunately, where, man, you get to that age and that was everything that you worked for, all the like stress and struggle, and that was like a lot of times the light at the end of the tunnel, and then you get there and it's like, oh, well, I guess like you lose your purpose, you lose your, I don't know, there's something there that just like without something to look forward to, or even like have, again, I think the purpose is the right thing to explore and see what next week can bring is it's pretty sad to see. So
absolutely, and I see it all the time too. And I see people build up so much and then spend it on health, right?
Sure.
Spend it on nursing homes and doctors and things like that. What a waste. What a waste. Okay. Why build it up then if you're not going to utilize it for your own enjoyment in the long run?
Yeah.
Things that bring you passion.
Yeah. Where's your first country? Do you know? Have you narrowed this down? Have you gotten specific?
Yeah, Iceland is really high on my list as a place to go and spend quite a bit of time.
Cool. Have you been?
I have not been to Iceland yet, no.
Nice. I'm assuming you're going in the spring or summer.
Yeah. Yeah, somewhere in that realm.
No,
So,
not winter.
but yeah, yeah, that's a big motivation for me in the long run.
Cool.
Is to
That's
explore what
awesome.
this world has to offer. I mean, I did an exchange in Denmark and it absolutely changed my world just to see how the rest of the world goes through life and how they view it. It's
Yeah, so true.
different
Uh,
perspectives.
yeah, I've been I hadn't crossed the Atlantic until 4 years ago, and I went to Sweden and I went to Spain, and it was just such an eye. Like I've been to Mexico, I've been all over the Western Hemisphere, but then going over there and just seeing such a different way of life, that was super transformative. It became really important for us to try and show that to Garrison at a younger age too. So yeah, what's that? What else? So Iceland, then what?
Iceland, Portugal, Spain, or I've been to Spain. I've not been to Portugal yet. I really enjoy Europe, but I got to be honest. Asia's really big on my list of places to go that I've never been, and I'd love to see over there. I've talked to people that have moved to Thailand, for example, and the cost of living is next to nothing, and they're just enjoying life. Japan looks incredible to go to, and people that have been there have just raved about it. So, the chance to just see other parts of the world and see other cultures, massive motivation.
That's awesome.
So,
I love it, man. Well, cool. Any other words of wisdom? Anything you want to like? I don't know. Any nuggets you just have not uncovered in this conversation you want to
yeah,
throw out into the ether?
I would just tell people there's a million and one fitness programs out there. Everybody's trying to sell you something, but find something you really like and stick with it, and get in with a group that you really enjoy and keep that motivation. One of the reasons I show up is because I don't want to let Kenny down, right? I don't. He's showing up at 6 a.m. on a Monday, so I better be there. So, having that motivation's huge, actually. And then just, I love our conversations. I love coming in and seeing you. I know we give each other a good razzing all the time, but
It's my love
it's
language.
enjoyable. It's, and it's fun to get into the 6 a.m. class and see a lot of people there. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I think actually that's a really good point. I think we have a certain style of fitness, but I honestly don't care. Like again, I'm saying that from a perspective of for someone like just move multiple times a week intentionally. Like it really, I don't think it matters that much. I think what we do is obviously what I think is ideal or what's the best. But man, the difference between that and just intentionally moving, I don't care if you're ribbon dancing or freaking Zumbaing or yoga. I don't know. It's just if you do that, you're in so much of a better spot than not. And it's whatever you enjoy. So find something you enjoy, get up, go do it, and have fun. Like I think that's I think part of the fun for us is we call it like type 2 fun. Like it's not that much fun when you're doing it, but it's fun when you're done to look back on what you've accomplished. And I think that exists. There should be that thing for everybody, even if you feel like you hate exercise. So that's a really good point.
absolutely. And that's one of the big things. I've loved going to the gym. I wasn't thrilled about the group classes before because it felt intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But now when I go and see the motivation that other people will push, you'll get close to the end of a workout and you've got people still sitting on the wall or doing their thing but they're still motivating the other people that are not quite finished, right? And I gotta compliment Kenny. You've hired some amazing coaches there as well. They recognize very quickly if somebody's struggling, will suggest other options. Last week I was really struggling with goblet squats, and I just couldn't get my back was just locking up from it. So instead I just did air squats. And Lisa came over and was like, that was a great choice, right? You kept moving, you didn't stop, you kept going with something else. That's huge. Having that motivation from the coaches is amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. It takes two too, like just to acknowledge you in that situation. Like we've definitely gone through periods of time where people come in and they're like, nope, I know better. Like, screw you, I got this. So that it's a two-way street. I think we've got a pretty neat thing. I've been fortunate to have some amazing people come and follow my leadership, but we've also been so fortunate to have some amazing people, all amazing people, not all. I'm sure there's some people I could pick out that we don't like. We should do it publicly on here right now. But they all come in and make this cohesive, like really fantastic thing. And thanks for being a part of it, man. I look forward to seeing you every once a week that we see each other these days, and we have a lot of fun. And it's just cool to see what you've been able to accomplish. So
yeah, well, and I appreciate it, Kenny. You've like I said, you've made a difference in my life health-wise. I feel like from where my parents are to where I'm at, I've changed that trajectory. I've changed that cycle.
Definitely.
And I'm hoping that I've changed that cycle for my kids as well as they've seen this, and that we're on a better health journey. And
Yeah.
you've been a big part of that. Your whole gym has been a big part of that.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. I can't wait to. It'll be, sad to leave you for a couple months a year, I guess, or maybe it's full time. But when you go to Denmark, it'll be pretty sweet. Not Denmark, Iceland. It'll be sweet to see you living out all your stuff. So that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go, and thanks for doing this.
enjoyed it. Thanks, Kenny.
All right, this is frozen. What is going on here? All right, thank you for listening. If you want to be more like Ken, and I think that you probably do, and you are not yet a part of this gym or part of this community, send me an email, kenny@sandpointstrength.com, or go to sandpointstrength.com and just book a free consult. Happy to chat with you and tell you how we can help if we can help. All right, see ya.